بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
A Nabi will do the mu'jiza to prove that he is a Nabi. An Imam will do the mu'jiza to prove that he is the divinely appointed Imam. It doesn't just happen like that. So mu'jiza and miracle is always attached to the claim of nubuwwat or imamat. But then you will see that there are certain extraordinary actions which can be done by individuals who are not necessarily Nabi or Imam. In the common language, we also say this is mu'jiza. Somebody who was told by the doctors that your cancer has no cure. The fellow believes in Imam Rida alayhi salam. He goes, he goes all the way to Mashhad. Does the tawassul in the haram of Imam Rida alayhi salam, comes back, goes to the doctors, and they say, well, your cancer is gone. What is that? If you ask any common Shia, they will say, this is mu'jiza. This is where I would like to tell you, no, that is not mu'jiza. Mu'jiza is always attached to a claim. There is another term for such things, and that is known as the Karamat. Whenever you see things specially done by ordinary, chosen individuals that Allah has chosen, given them special powers to help others, that is not mu'jiza, that is known as Karamat. Karamat also means nobility. Allah has blessed them with that power to help others. When we look at this status of Hazrat Abbas, he is not an Imam. He is not a Masoom. He is not even a descendant of Rasulullah. He is son of Ali, but not son of Fatima. But even then, he has that status in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we as Shias, we consider him to be Babul Hawaij. He is the wasila for us for many of our hajat, fulfillment of our hajat. And so the question comes up, how does an individual who is ordinary, not an Imam or a Rasul, how does he get that power? In one of the Hadith Qudsi that we have in our books, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Abdi, ati'ni, O my servant, obey me. Obey me totally and completely. And if you really obey me totally and completely, what I can do for you? What is the potential of a human being? If you totally submerge yourself to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, أَجْعَلُكَ مِثْلِي, I can make you like me. It's not kufr. Hold on. Yes, Quran says, لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ. There is nothing like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What does this mean? It just means that those who totally submit to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they become complete obedient of the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah can decide to bless them with certain powers, which are like His powers. The difference is that Allah's power is His power, it is essential. It was with Him. Nobody gave it to Him. Nobody can take it from Him. And those who are chosen ones, whether Anbiya or Mursaleen or ordinary individuals, who are given this power to do the Karamat, they are given that power in a limited form as a gift of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is not their power essentially, it is the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to those individuals. Salawat padhne ek baar aur. Going back to the talk I had in Mi'raj, the example I mentioned from the Quran, was from Surah number 27, ayat number 40. Remember Prophet Sulaiman, when he had invited the queen from Yemen, Bilqis, to come and visit him in Jerusalem. Once she agreed to come in submission, Sulaiman talked to his people in that court. And he said, I would like to somehow show her my power. And I want her throne to be here before she comes. And those of you who were there, I mentioned the story. One of the jinn said that, "Oh, Sulaiman, I can bring her throne here before you stand up from your throne." But there was another human being, Asal Barkhiyya, who was the wazir of Sulaiman. According to the ayat of Qur'an, what does he say? This is not hadith or history. قال الذي عنده علم من الكتاب. Somebody who was blessed with a portion of the divine knowledge. He said, أنا آتيك به قبل أن يرتد إليك طرفك. I will bring her throne to you before even the blinking of your eyes, and it was right there. That power, where does it come from? He is not Allah. He's actually not even listed in among the Anbiya. He's a wazir, a minister of Hazrat Sulaiman. But he had this special knowledge that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given to him. This is what is known as Karamat. This is an example of Karamat. And so this is where we have to realize that, when we talk about this concept of ordinary human beings who are not Imam or Rasul or Nabi, and they are chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and gifted with certain powers that they can help others, and we consider them to be the wasila for us, this is not that much alien and foreign from Islamic thought. We know the hierarchy. Allah is the supreme being. He is in absolute control of the universe. But He has chosen by His own will that sometimes if you have difficulty in coming to me directly, they are the wasilas that I have appointed. You come through them. And maybe I will, fulfill your wishes. Salawat padhna ek baar aap. But be careful. Not everybody has karamat. Those who have the power of doing karamat do not advertise themselves. They don't go around saying, "Call me, I can do this for you." As soon as you get that call, just cut the call. Anyone says, "I have special powers, I can resolve your business problem." But there is a price attached to it. And even more than that, anyone who wants to control your life, whom do you meet? Where do you go? Your wife is not right for you, according to my knowledge. Give her divorce. Unfortunately, there are some people like that in all different communities, and there are real examples in the Western world, in Europe and North America, where people are deceived by this issue of karamat. Number one, those who have this ability do not publicize, do not brag about it, do not, look for followers. If it becomes a cult, there is a problem. If it becomes piri muridi, there is a problem. If he says, "I am your sheikh, whatever you do, you ask me," there is a problem. Stay away from all that. We have Muhammad and Ali Muhammad, and they are sufficient for us. Salawat. They might have learned certain tricks by which they can deceive the people. Quran has the example of Bani Israel. When Musa alayhi salam went to receive the Torah, what happened? He said, "I'm going for 30 days. He was delayed for 10 more days. Within those 10 days, what happened? Samiri deceive the people. How did he do that? When Musa comes back, he says to Samiri, what have you done? He says, well, I knew something that people didn't know. So he was a learned person. Sometimes knowledge also becomes dangerous. He says, when the angel came to talk to you, people didn't see him, but I saw him. And the place where the angel was standing by you, when he left, I picked the sand from under his feet where he was standing. Because I knew that there is some special power in it now that an angel's feet has been on it. And this is where, the whole story where he asked them to build this image of calf. And it started making sound. Where did that sound come from? There was not tape recorders those days, or remote speaker or something like that. He actually used that miraculous sand, if I may use the term, because he had that knowledge, but he misused it to gain his own objectives, which was to move away from the right path. And this is what I'm saying. Sometimes we get people, even among the Shias, who come and make such claims, and we have to be careful about it, that Karamat is a haqq and truth, but wherever you see it becomes a business. Wherever it comes, it changes into a cult, and a group is formed. Where this whole, like Sufis, circles of Sheikh and Murshid starts, this is where you have to be careful, and you have to move away from that bala.